The only thing you really need when you go rock hunting is a pocket. But even better yet would be something to hold the rocks. And so I love to take my used Ziploc baggies or any kind of old container that you were going to throw away. They're perfect for collecting rocks. So whenever you go outside, whenever you go outside, you might always have a Ziploc in your pocket like I do, because you're bound to find the rock that you want to keep. And it's nice to keep your pockets clean and you can put them in the bags. Okay, so just ask Mom or anybody for some containers to hold your rocks. Okay, now follow me and I'll show you kind of what I look for. Anywhere I go, there's usually rocks somewhere, either in the street or on piles or even at the neighbor's house, which you must always ask the neighbors if you're going to look at their rocks. Because you might like one and they might let you take one home. But only ask the neighbors if you have an adult with you. Okay, so let's just look around my yard and see what possibilities we have. You might notice the big giant rock wall. Those are way too big, so I don't use those. But sometimes rocks will break off and I can use those. But we are so lucky because we have a whole bunch of dirt. And in the dirt, there's often rocks. So this is a great place to look. But at the side of our house, we've got just regular pebbles. So this is just kind of pebbly stuff. And this is fantastic. I mean, look at this. I just looked right now and here's an odd shaped rock. The odder the shapes are, the better they are, because you wouldn't believe what they could turn into, but you don't know until you collect a whole bunch, spill them out on the table, push them around, and then you start seeing things. So we've got kind of gravelly rocks, and then we turn around and we've kind of got just really rough rocks in the backyard, but inside all that dirt, there's really good rocks to work with. Then we have ducks, which is the best distraction of all. These ducks just flew in. I don't get it, but they're wild, and so we started feeding them, and they like water and food, so they come over. Do you get it? So you just need to find some rocks, and then we look for specific shapes. Look for long, tall ones, round ones, and triangles. If you can find those shapes, you can make anything. So I went out and collected a whole bunch of rocks, and these are from all over the place, but I wanted to show you which kinds to look for. My rocks are really big. It's hard to find big rocks unless you go to like a stream or a river or the ocean. Probably the rocks around your neighborhood are a little bit smaller, but these shapes will help you know what to get. So the most important shape to get, well, there's really three most important ones. If you get tall, skinny rocks, these are so great because they make good bodies. Like if this is just, from the neck down, that's a good body. Or it could be an arm or a leg. So tall, skinny rocks are good. Whenever you see them when you're walking around the neighborhood, if you find a tall, skinny one, stick it in your pocket and then take it home because that's really good. And then the next shape to get is circles. And you'll find lots of circles. Like that's a circle rock. Anything that's a circle makes a pretty good head. So if you're making a person and you need a head, then you can just take your tall skinny one and you can put a circle on it and you've got a person. Pretty easy, right? So circles are really important. If you're making bicycles, they make good bicycle tires. They're just, actually some people make rock art just with circles only. So they just collect circles. And you never want a perfect rock. You like them to be just a little not perfect because that's how real things are in life. Nothing's perfect. So it looks better when it's not perfect. The other shape you want to get is called, I call it a jelly bean shape. It's a kind of a curve shape. So any rock that has a curve in it, there's all kinds of uses for that. I call them jelly bean rocks. Here's one that's really weird that has a big curve in it. So if you find rocks with a curve, especially if they're little rocks, you want to keep those. And you'll see why later when we go through different rock art. So here's a, what's that one? Tall, skinny rock. What's that one? Jelly bean, curved rock. And then we have circle rocks, okay? All right, and then here are some of the rocks I already collected. These are pretty cool because these are the very best ones I could find anywhere. And we're gonna make some rock art out of those. Okay, one of the three activities is kind of a treasure hunt. It's choosing a shape and looking for that outside, anywhere you go. It sounds kind of easy, and it can be, and especially if you do it with a friend, you can make a contest out of it. So choose a shape you want, and choose an easy shape, like a circle. So you might say, you're gonna go collect as many circle rocks as you can. And then you both each have your own bucket or Ziploc bag, and you go find as many as you can. And when you come back, then you'll count them and see who got the most shapes. You could choose a little bit harder, like the stick rocks. This is a long, skinny rock. Can you see that okay? The long, skinny rocks are really useful. So even though this is fun just to go treasure hunt and find the right shape, you'll end up using these later when you're making pictures with the rocks. So you might choose to find long, skinny rocks. They can be really tiny, they just have to be skinny, or they can be really big like this one, but skinny. Or you might choose to go for triangles. Here's a triangle. It's hard to find triangles, so you kind of have to just go with it. Sometimes the 3 points aren't so obvious, like that's a triangle. Does that look like a triangle? That's kind of a triangle. There's a point, 2 points on top and 1 on the bottom. So go find all the triangles you can. And once you get good at triangles, you'll find out that some of your triangles are actually heart-shaped rocks. And those are my favorite ones to get, because I think they're love notes from God. So I collect all the heart-shaped rocks I can get. And here's a really good one. That's pretty good, huh? So if you find triangles, sometimes if you pick the triangle up and you look at it carefully, you actually have a heart. So you might go out and see how many hearts you can find. I have friends that have never found a heart rock, but I think once you start looking, you'll start seeing them. I find at least one every time I go out. So they're there. So choose a shape that you want to find and go get as many of those as you can. That's one of the fun and easy outdoor activities you can do with rock art. Okay, check out the finds for today. Oh, can always use a long stick rock, but look at all these hearts. But look at some of these I also found. Whoa, that is cool. And this one, oh, it's huge. Those are good ones. And even a square, those are unusual to find. That's cute. Ooh, that looks like an angel wing. What if we said there's the profile of an angel and here's his head? Angel! You are not going to believe what just happened. These 3 wild mallards just flew into our yard. We've been trying to attract them by putting water out, and we have birdseed out, but it was super fun. I wish I had the camera on when they flew in so you could see them, but they're here, so I'll show you. Let me slowly turn around so I don't scare them. Do you see them? Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? We gotta go find some food for them. That is so dang cute. So cute. Hey guys, you want some treats? Who wants treats? Okay, they're not very domesticated yet. Here you go. Okay, that was a fail. Treats, anybody? Huh. Well, I guess it's good they like the grass better than my treats.